I can tell you where we are on the investigation of the events of this week. What social networks such as Facebook have portrayed is a huge batch of gang violence. What we have reduced it down to through investigation and pulling back different layers of stories is that there was a fist fight early in the week between two individuals. They were disciplined. Another 8 people were disciplined for their involvement in being onlookers at that. 2 Class C citations were issued for fighting, just like they have been for generations. And then Facebook just blew up with this, and it turned into all kinds of threats of violence and gang involvement that actually wasn't even there. We have gang investigators that are well schooled in this stuff. They travel away to learn so that they can be always at the ready for anything that could potentially happen. They can come back and they can look at some of this tagging, and they can probably tell you early on whether this is a legitimate gang doing this or whether this is posers. I think probably what has happened here is we've had a couple of youth wanting to get their bluff in on other people, and so they're using the gang card, if you will, to try to intimidate their so-called schoolyard enemies. And by tagging, I think they thought they were doing the right thing, but it doesn't even fit the textbook definition of tagging. Since the beginning of time, we've had things that networked us together as a race, and as humanity, and as countrymen, and those sorts of things. Now it's the social network, it's the internet, and it's sort of I don't know if it's a necessary evil, but it has its positive side and it has its dark side. And sometimes people get on there and they take things to be fact. But we always tell students, and we always tell parents in all of our classes, to remember that very little of what you see on the internet is to be taken as real without some corroboration through outside sources. It raises the agitation of all the people involved, including the parents. That means some of the students might be a little more defensive about things that are said in the hallway. We don't want that to happen either. So we just want everybody to take a deep breath and look at what's really going on. For parents specifically, talk to your kids. We say it in every school, whether it's avoiding drugs or avoiding tobacco or alcohol or even gang affiliation. Talk to your kids. The more you talk to your kids, the more you know about what's really going on in the hallways at your schools.